My name is Eric. I just turned 21 and I'm sharing the biggest lessons I learned in my life and throughout my entrepreneurial journey. So now I am pretty much a failure example if you look at it this way. I dropped out of school about a year ago and I started entrepreneurship about 2 years ago. Online business, info space, growth operating, everything I tried, and none of it really worked. I never hit my first 10,000 months, not even close to that. I probably spent more money than the money I actually made, and I now work at Costco while building my AI company. You can say those are the lessons I learned from failures. Success are not overnight, and there are a lot of things that people learned or people been through that is not on the page, but I want to share the lessons I learned with you. So stick with me. This video could probably change your life, definitely changed mine, and the last two lessons are probably the biggest lessons I learned so far. I didn't plan anything for this video, but I just turned 21. It is 1 a.m. October 5th, 2025, and now I am 21 years old. The beginning of my 20s era. The other day, I was at Costco. One of the colleague, a friend of mine, he started working at Costco when he turned 21 as well, and he stayed there for 31 years. He told me time passed fast. That is true. In our 20s, when we are young, we don't realize how treasured the few years we have right now when we're at our prime physique, prime mental states. We have the resilience, the drive to do a lot of great things to achieve great success. People waste those years. They waste time on, you see, like so many distractions in my background. Initial D, Demon Slayers, all the other things, distracted rather than focusing on themselves. So that's lesson one. Don't waste your 20s. Time pass fast and have a sense of urgency. Lesson two, my friend told me when I asked him, what would you tell your 20 years old self if you can change anything? So he said he would tell his old self to spend more time with his family. Don't take anything for granted. He lost 3 of his grandparents during this 10 years. He wished that he didn't skip those family meetings. He wished that he has spent more time with his family. And this is super personal to me because I moved to Canada 8 years ago and I never had the chance to go back. So it's almost been 10 years I haven't seen them. And in my memories, my grandparents, they are strong and they are healthy. They have the black hair, but this 10 years changed a lot. They got a lot older, just like that. I was actually on FaceTime with them for probably a few hours, having conversation with my grandparents, learning about their lore during the early stages of China, learning about their stories, learning about the things happening back then and how you can reflect it to the current society, which is super interesting. And one of my grandma, she said, 如果有一天你当了大老板，那你就可以请人给我做饭. The only way I can see them is through FaceTime. And throughout this 8 years, I do see them getting a lot older. Their health decreased massively. They still need to take care of themselves. And one of my grandfather, he actually still works as a Uber driver. He doesn't even have a license because they won't give license to people who are older than 70 years. But he still do it because the family needs money. So that is another one of my motivations. If you subscribe to me right now, you will see how I make my money with my business and go back to China, visit them, take care of them, and also I'll be sharing the opportunities I found with AI and everything from the China's perspective. So lesson two, don't take your family for granted. You don't know when's the last time you will see them, and spend more time with them. Prioritize your time with family. The money will come. Money is something, if you lose it, you can make it back, but there's something else that are only there for once. Lesson 3. So I think a lot of you might have read this book because this is one of my English reading book from high school. It's called The Alchemist. I highly recommend this book. So the lesson here is the story here is Santiago, the main character of the story. He had a personal legend. He had a calling. To summarize it, you can say it's he followed his heart. He had a dream. He chased it. And throughout his journey, at the very beginning stage, when he decided to take that leap of faith, he actually got scammed at a market. And he lost everything. He lost all the money he invested. So he went to work at a crystal merchant shop. And the crystal merchant is a person just like Santiago. He had a dream and he had omens to show him to follow his dreams. But for whatever reason, he decided to not follow that omen that the universe has shown to him. And what happened is, yes, he made a shop, a crystal shop. He made a little bit decent amount of money. But when he is older, the omen he had for his dream became a curse. It used to be a blessing, but now it is a curse. Now when he sees the younger people who has the chance to follow their heart, to follow their omens, to pursue their personal legend, that hurt his mental wellness, because the what ifs haunts him every night when he goes to sleep. And to share a little bit about my journey, I started entrepreneurship about 2 years ago. I took a leap of faith when I was not ready. My character wasn't built. I was fully distracted. So it was a 2 years liminal space of trial, error, and failing. But now I work at Costco. The past is super similar. And during this time, I had multiple lowest valley that I ever had. That I have no dignity. I couldn't face my failure. I couldn't face where I was. So I indulged in distractions. I indulged in dopamine. I wasn't able to face myself in the mirror, and I let myself be complacent. And seeing the people who started with me at the same time succeeding, but me being the opposite, it gives me a free trial of living as the crystal merchant. So I'm actually gonna read this part from my reflection for you to better understand this. I am not running away from the pain of hard work. I never worked in McDonald's, mining fields, never really experienced the low-level frustration. Now I have. Hard work is part of the essential for success. What I'm afraid of is becoming the crystal shop merchant who did realize his personal legend, who did not act when the omens presented to him. The old-time blessing turning into a lifelong curse. Through a self-imposed limitation rooted in fear and complacency, a realized personal legend grows spoiled due to lack of action. It is the fear of failing, self-doubt, hesitation, lack of discipline and boldness, the stagnation that came from comfort and complacency leads him to take no actions. He chose to take no actions. The regret and what if will haunt him forever. The regrets and miserable situation will hit him harder in the future as he abandoned the mission the greater will has assigned to him. He will envy the newer generations who still yet has the chance to realize their personal legend, especially the one like Santiago. And he will try to warn the ones who ignore the omens with his miserable life. Lost potential hits harder than the potential that is never realized. Losing attempts are just the stepping stones to greater success. He would never be truly fulfilled as his potential is wasted. The consequence of abandoning omens are not limited to oneself. It has a deeper effect to the people around him than himself. His family and loved ones will suffer due to his lack of action when the omen appeared itself. Fatima would either suffer with him or there will not be Fatima at all. Fatima is basically the wife for Santiago that he met on his journey, and he followed his mission first. Fatima waited for him to come back. If Santiago didn't decided to focus on his mission first, achieve his personal legend, they might live happily for 10 years, 15 years, and things will go spoiled. This is in the book, you can look at it yourself. So this is my biggest fear, as I already had a trial of this experience. I won't go too deep, too personal, but I hope you can get the lesson. If you have a calling, if you have that gut feeling that this is something what you wanted to do, and you chose to ignore it, let me tell you, you're gonna regret that. You will suffer mental illness, or you will at least never be truly fulfilled, because you know that when you had the chance to play the life as a game, as the main character, you decided to ignore it and live it as you are an NPC. It would be miserable. And people are conditioned to believe that it is okay and then there are ways to get help, but in reality, if you accept that's okay for you, that's your decision. All right, lesson 4. Bet on yourself. You are the only person that is right. You are the only person that is right. Your teacher doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Your parents doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Elon Musk don't know what the hell they're talking about. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. The only person that knows what you should do is yourself. Why? Because you have the full context of your life. Day 16 from Transurfing. Interpretation. Transurfing gives you a map of the territory and the rules of the game. It is up to you what you decide to do with them. You are the king or queen of your personal world. Do not succumb to others' influence. Believe in yourself. Don't rely on other people's decisions. You know better than anyone else what needs to happen and how. Even now that you have knowledge, you will not be immune from making mistakes. True success grows out of the ruins of your failures. Most prominent figures have been through a lot. It is just that these areas of their life tend to be glossed over. So if you have suffered a failure, rejoice. You are on the path to success. Sometimes you will feel as if circumstances are stacked against you, and yet, how can you really know exactly which path will lead you to achieve your goal? The guardians of ancient knowledge have revealed Transurfing not to try and make you believe in the reality of metaphysics, but to inspire hope. Where there is faith, there is always room for doubt. We need hope so that we can start to take action. Begin to take action and you will see how things that previously seemed inconceivable begin to manifest into physical reality. When hope has done its work, you will gain awareness. Then you will say to yourself, I don't wish, I don't believe, I don't hope. I intend and I know. One of the reasons that I fell to my lowest self is I didn't have that faith in myself, in my thoughts, in my ideas. And when I have doubts, whether it came from the authority figure you have currently in your life, or it came from your friends, or you learned about something else, this is gonna makes you slow down and start taking less actions about the things that you're supposed to be working on right now. That's one of the reasons that holded me back. So have a little bit more confidence in yourself of what you think. And you know, if other people think the otherwise, even the authority figures think the otherwise, you know, who cares? The only thing that matters, you take that ideas and you turn that into actions and you turn that into real results, and then you can test if that works, if you're right, and if it's not, you can learn and you can improve. So that's what really matters. And personally, I grew up and my character was shaped in a way to be empathetic with other people's opinion, to think about other people's first, to try to understand each people's opinion. And sometimes the authority figure you look up to is not as smart as you think they are. They just have the ability to position themselves as the authority. And sometimes they're just great manipulators, or they're just great at gaslighting to protect their egos. So this is a character trait that hold me back a lot, which is to try to understand and try to emphasize each people's point and make sense of everything. When reality, the person you look up to, the person who is authority right now in your life, is not as smart as you think, and you make better decisions than you think. You are the only person that is right. So these are the 4 lessons that I'm sharing that came from the 2 years of my entrepreneurship, with paying, suffer, failures, lessons, everything, and hope you learned something. Also, this is a message for myself as well. So currently I'm working at Costco, and I'm building my AI auditing company at the same side. I'm starting off with a really specific niche, and right now we have the LLC setting up, the very basic foundation. I was able to connect with a mentor, not just a online guru, from the old network I had, and I have the capital to invest and learn because I work at Costco. So the business model is pretty simple. It's database activation, and we have our own proprietary AI and our full system, which is revenue rack. 5 of these Samsung phone and 10 of the eSIM cards. So we can send messages, do calls by ourselves. If you're interested to see my journey of how I reached my first 10K a month this year, and if you want to see me quitting my job, or you're just interested to see where this is all going to be, drop me a subscribe. And this is at the very early stage of my journey, and part of the reason I'm doing this as well is to improve my speaking skills. So right now the quality and the video might not be the greatest. I'm also focusing a lot of my time in the business itself, and also 40 hours a week at Costco. But I'm trying my best to provide value, so see you in the next one. Peace.